When you think of Five Nights at Freddy's, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe the office, the cameras? No, of course not. It's the animatronics. The animatronics are without a doubt the most important thing in Five Nights at Freddy's. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even have a game. Well, what's even more important is how they're designed. Now, for the most part, all 4 FNAF games have decent designs for every character. Well, maybe not FNAF 3's Phantoms. They just look kind of ugly. But one important thing about designing characters in horror games is how scary are they? And in my personal opinion, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 does this absolutely perfectly. Why do I think this? Well, let me explain. As you may or may not already know, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is mainly just gameplay in a bedroom, where you have to listen in for animatronics. Now, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, you play as a child. And the entire point of this game is a child going through a literal nightmare. And when you look at these animatronic designs, yeah, they look like nightmare fuel. This is one of the few reasons I believe these animatronic designs are perfect. For the setting of the game. I genuinely believe these are the most terrifying ones for this specific reason alone, but there are a lot more reasons to go over. For example, when you look at these animatronics, you see full-blown teeth in their mouth, their stomach, claws on their hands, and they look like they've been through some kind of war. This is really what helps Five Nights at Freddy's 4 be scary. Now, do I like the gameplay in Five Nights at Freddy's 4? Not necessarily. However, I do believe these animatronic designs help the game become way more scary. The problem with the other 3 FNAF games is that, well, you kind of see the jump scares coming most of the time. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 definitely does the animatronic jump scares best. I say this because a lot of the time you'll think you hear something and then you don't, and then all of a sudden, yeah, one of them kills you. But why do I mention this? What does this have to do with animatronic designs? Well, I believe scariness in the game overall can largely be affected by the animatronic designs. Now, when you look at the first 4 animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, for example, do they really look all that scary? Now, don't get me wrong, Foxy is actually kind of interesting since he's all, beat up and whatnot. But all the other animatronics, I mean, they don't look that bad. Like, sure, there'll be some times where Bonnie looks into the camera and stuff, and so does Freddy at times. But for the most part, they kind of just look like innocent animatronics. Let's go over some of the animatronic designs a little more personally. First of all, let's look at Nightmare Freddy. When you look at Nightmare Freddy, what's the first thing you see? Yeah, these little guys. I think these alone say enough about what Nightmare Freddy has gone through. Probably a lot. I assume these are his babies or something. I really don't know. But either way, when you look at it, you know that you shouldn't mess around with Nightmare Freddy. Well, along with any animatronic, including Chuck E. Cheese, but hey, whatever. My point still stands. Bonnie and Chica look pretty scary too. What I think makes it most scary about these animatronics is their teeth. The amount of teeth they have can really affect the frontal lobe. The other 2 animatronics I'd like to go over is Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear. Now, what is the one thing you notice about these 2 animatronics? Yeah, they have a whole set of teeth in their stomach. I don't know about y'all, but that's literally insane. Quite literally defines what a child would think of when they hear the word monster. Overall, with the gameplay of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the animatronic designs fit so well for this game. Now, the only one I don't really like that much is Plushtrap. I don't know, he always just looked kind of silly to me. Although his jump scare has scared me a couple of times, his design overall just doesn't look that interesting. Now, Nightmare Balloon Boy, on the other hand, this is not the Balloon Boy we came to know. And I honestly prefer this design of Balloon Boy way more than I do with FNAF 2 or FNAF 3. This Balloon Boy looks terrifying. Like, would you want this version of Balloon Boy to be your best friend? I didn't think so. Overall, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is definitely the scariest game in my opinion, and the designs of the animatronics overall help it become that scary. Now, like I said, I like the other designs of the animatronics in the other games, don't get me wrong. But I just personally feel like the overall setting of the game and the gameplay in and of itself really helped the animatronics shine in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Which is why I personally believe FNAF 4's animatronics are the best designed animatronics ever. Anyways, that's the end of the video now. Shout out to the channel members, I heavily appreciate your guys' support. And also shout out to the people who have been making fan art for me, I heavily appreciate it. I always appreciate fan art being made for me, so if you make a piece of fan art for me, you will 100% be featured in a video like these pieces of fan art are being featured right now. So if you want to make fan art for me and you want to send it to me, just ask me for my Discord or you can tag me on YouTube and I'll see it. But anyways, that's about it. Goodbye.
But yeah, guys, this is how you double tap off host. What you do is you press You press R3.